I think English should make Maro Itoje captain because I think that will take the edge off what he does, and I think that
Yeah,
added leadership and the pressure of being captain will then make him a better player. Because I think there needs to be a shift somewhere, whether or not Eddie Jones thinks or believes, and you don't give a shit what I say. But in my opinion, IMO, there needs to be a shift in the culture of the England team about the way that they're going about their business, both from a media point of view and on the pitch. And obviously, Maro's liabilities around the penalties. Imagine if he didn't give away them penalties. For me, that's a career-changing moment for Maro, in my opinion. You've got Warren Gatland up in the stands. You're against a veteran in Alan Wynne-Jones. There's talk everywhere about Maro Itoje being captain of the British and Irish Lions. Sia Khaleesi being captain of South Africa. Amazon making a documentary. Imagine the profile that's going to be surrounding that. Okay, Maro knows that. His agency at Rock Nation know that. We know he's a world-class player, but that could have been a damaging game for him because Warren Gatland's there. He's a decision maker. You've got your son playing, Alan Wynne-Jones, playing the way that he did and leading his team to victory against England the way that they did. And you've got Maro Itoje all over the place on media, building a brand alongside that, doing what he did. So I think it'll be a career-defining moment for Maro, and I genuinely think he'll come out of it better.
it's massive though, isn't it? Well, you talk about the British and Irish Lions, and hopefully we hear at some point what is exactly going to happen. But you look at the four captains of the nations, and they've all got their kind of downsides as to how and why they perhaps shouldn't be captain. Obviously, Farrell's one is his demeanour with referees at the minute and how he acts. Alan Wynne-Jones's one is he going to be good enough in the summer to be a test player? And people have talked about that. On his performance at the weekend, you'd probably say yes. Ireland, their captain's Johnny Sexton, as we've talked about, injury prone, and Scotland, Stuart Hogg's fullback. His only downside is he's a fullback. He's so far away from the front line that you need. Some people think you need your captain right in the mix, don't you? So only Warren Gatland knows what he's going to do. I wouldn't say you're ruling Maro out of being captain of the British Lions because he gave a few pens away at the weekend, but you certainly need someone to have a word in his ear and say, listen, there's the edge. Just sometimes you've got to pull back from the edge a bit because he's that good at what he does. He doesn't always need to be right on the edge, does he?
You think he's trying to do too much to compensate for some out-of-form people around him?
I just don't think he's been told. He can't have been told. And, I look back on my career and I think, if
less pens.
if I did that, I would have been yanked off at half time for any team, right? If I'd given away 4 penalties, regardless if I charged down a couple and I was turning balls over for fun, I genuinely think most players would get yanked off at half time, 4 penalties. But he's obviously allowed to do what he's allowed to do because he's that dominant in every other facet of the game. So it's up to the coaches, isn't it? And I'm sure he'll read the media, he'll listen to this and he'll understand that it is a crossroads for him. So I don't think it's a compensation. I just think he's always been allowed to do that. He gets away with loads of stuff like this. In the games, he's slapping the ball down in mauls and stuff like that, gets away with it. He's whooping and hollering, he's charging down, he's turning over, he's, monstering people in collisions. He's, diving on balls. He just everything. And it's just everything is so glaringly obvious that almost like now there's no fans or whatever. And referees are onto him and talking about him that it's got to a stage where he needs to change.